Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Texas Rangers franchise here on MLB The Show 21 and the MSM Sports Network. Today's episode may be the most crucial of the entire 2022 season as the Texas Rangers and Houston Astros square off in the rubber match of the three-game series. Texas just a game and a half back of first place in the AL West. They're also just a single game back behind the Twins and the Yankees for the wild card spot as well. But we're not concerned with the wild card because we want a division crown here in year two of the franchise, and we're just a game and a half back from at least taking the lead. As we did take game one of the series over the Astros, it was a 7-6 thriller. The Rangers homered 4 times en route to a game one victory, and it was certainly thrilling. Jonathan Hernandez picked up his 12th save of the year, but not before he loaded the bases on 3 consecutive walks. Still, Texas was able to escape with the 7-6 win and took game one of the series. Zack Greinke and the Astros, however, did fight back, and they won game two 2-1. Brett Martin was saddled with the loss. He gave up a double to Yordan Alvarez and then the game-winning RBI to Alex Bregman in the very next batter. So this one is all to play for as the Rangers and Astros square off at 1:10 here on a Sunday afternoon. It's of course a Sunday, so the Rangers will be wearing their powdered blues and the Astros wearing their home oranges. So with a critical series on the line and the Rangers just a game and a half back, we take you out to Minute Maid Park as the Astros take the field. And the Astros certainly have the momentum right now. Luis Garcia going to the mound, 5-0, a 4.23 ERA. That ERA not sparkling, but still, he's managed to come out with 5 wins on the season. The Astros still are the favorites to win the division as the first pitch misses upstairs. We skip now to 2-0, and David Dahl quiets that momentum. A laser beam over the right field wall. Dahl has caught fire as of late in his 16th home run of the season, exits stage right. Dahl had been a little quiet as far as the power win. It felt like through the first half of the season that we hit the majority of his 10 home runs. But since battling a couple of injuries, he's come back and has certainly put the league on notice that he's got power. Speaking of power, it's Tyler Naquin deep to right center field. This one over the right fielder's head into the wall. Naquin digging for third, the head first slide. He's safe just ahead of the tag. As you get a look at this replay, initially I thought this ball was going to be caught, but the fear of running into the wall scared the defender off, and Naquin just barely beating the relay throw there in time. So a 2-1 count to Willie Calhoun, the next batter, and this is into center field for a base hit. In the blink of an eye, Texas has a 2-0 lead. But it wasn't done yet. Next pitch, Trevor Story, hanging curveball, and the Rangers shortstop puts this one off the train tracks. Trevor Story with his 28th long ball of the season and a hanging curveball. There was no doubt that this one was going to leave the yard. It just depended on whether or not it was fair, and it wrapped around the foul pole. Carlos Martinez to the mound for Texas, already staked with a 4-0 lead, and he would have a very quiet first inning as he gets the first 2. Now to Yordan Alvarez, battling here, a 2-2 count. Gets him with the sinker away just off the tip of the bat. Now looking to go fastball in against a 300 hitter, and the high fastball rides over the bat of Yordan Alvarez. 3 up, 3 down for Martinez in the first. Skip ahead to the top of the third now, and Willie Calhoun, a laser shot towards right field, but Gray Kessinger, the new starter at second base with Jose Altuve in Oakland, gets up and skies to make this catch, robbing a single from Willie Calhoun. And taking us to the bottom of the third inning, it's Corey Lee to the plate, 3-2 count, and this slider just doesn't break. Stays off the inside corner, and it's a leadoff walk for Martinez. Next batter, Fredes Nova takes the first 2 pitches for called strikes. 0-2 pitch on its way from Martinez, and it's good morning, good afternoon, and good night to the Astros shortstop. Second K of the afternoon for Martinez as you get another look. Fantastic placement here by the hard-throwing right-hander. So 1 out, it's Gray Kessinger to the plate, and this one lofted towards right center field, not hit that hard, but it's going to split the gap. JP Martinez slowed down as he thought Naquin was getting to that ball, but the lack of speed from Tyler Naquin hurting the Rangers there, and it's an RBI triple, the first of the career of Gray Kessinger at the big league level. Next batter, Michael Brantley, laser into left field. David Dahl easily has this measured. Here's the throw to the plate, and it is not in time. Just to the first base side of home plate. The throw not strong enough either, and Kessinger makes it a 4-2 ball game. Top of the fourth now, Trevor Story up, 2-2 count. He's got 1 home run already. Does he have 2? Brantley looking up into the Crawford boxes, and it's gone. Another multi-home run game for Trevor Story. Long ball number 29 of his 2022 season, and Texas gets one of those insurance runs right back as this ball hung right down the middle, and Story taking advantage of the short porch in left field. That one only going 340 feet, but long enough to make it 5-2. Take it to the bottom of the fourth inning now. Runner on first base, 2 outs. And this one slammed into right field. Naquin's relay throw not in time to third base. And Sean Murphy puts runners on the corners with 2 out. Corey Lee, the next batter. Unfortunately for Martinez, he slaps a weak ground ball out to second base. Nick Solak makes the play, and Texas takes a 3-run advantage into the 5th inning. Bottom of that inning, it's Freudis Nova back up to the plate. Looks at a high ball here, and it brings up a full count to lead off the inning as Martinez trying to keep the bases clear, but this changeup misses beneath the zone, and a good eye from Nova puts a runner on first. 1 out now for Michael Brantley, 0-2 count, and this one hit down to third base. Nice diving stop by Kiner Falefa to second for 1, on to first, couldn't get the double play. It was a great play by IKF, but he's come up hurt. Kiner Falefa clutching at his midsection, and he would be removed from this game as the trainer believing that he might have pulled an abdominal muscle. Josh Young comes into the ballgame as the emergency third baseman, and with 2 outs, Miles Straw blasts this one deep to left field. Dahl leaps at the wall, but it's off the out-of-town scoreboard. Martinez hesitates on the relay throw, maybe didn't pick up Trevor Story in the location he expected to find him, and Straw's 21st double of the season makes it 5-3 as the Rangers have a conference on the mound. 2 outs for Yordan Alvarez. He'll swing over the top of a first pitch changeup here. Skip ahead to 1-2 as Alvarez fouls this off. He stays alive as Martinez ready to deliver his 75th pitch of the night. Grounded softly to shortstop. Trevor Story up with it, throws to first, and the Rangers get out of the inning, limiting the damage to just 1. Trevor Story back up now. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Freudis Nova, nice play to field the ball, but then his throw to first is off target, and the Rangers have a runner on first. Ronald Guzman now trying to stroke this one deep to left field, but it doesn't quite get to the warning track, and the Ranger threat in the 6th dies with it. Hyunjong Yang on for his 22nd appearance of the year. His ERA has gone up. Formerly down around 3, it's jumped over 1.3 runs per game, as he's given up some hard contact lately, but here getting through the 6th inning with relative ease. He gets the 2nd out here to Tyler Naquin, and that would bring up Sean Murphy. 1-1 count here as he swings and misses at a good curveball. That is definitely Yang's best pitch. Trying to go back to it here. Now 1-2 the pitch, and Murphy way out in front of it. Fantastic curveball from Yang, and the 6th inning ends with a whimper for the hometown Astros. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Corey Lee up, and this curveball not so good. This one hangs and will get into the gap in right center field. Again, you see the lack of speed there from Tyler Naquin. It does just result in a double, but a leadoff base runner for the Stros. Bring up Freudis Nova. Nova now jammed on a fastball, and he pops out to first base in foul territory. Caught by Guzman. Gray Kessinger, the next batter up. 3-2 count as he has a quality at bat, but rolls it softly to second, and Yang just an out away with the 4th run of the ball game waiting on third base. Michael Brantley, the next hitter. Line drive out to right field. Naquin to his right. He's under it, and he makes the catch. And once again, the Astros threaten but don't push anything across. To the 8th inning we go as David Dahl back into the hit column. Had the home run to lead off the ball game, and now a base hit into right center field, puts a runner on to begin the inning against Ryan Stanek. Nick Solak now to the plate, 1-2, and the runner going. It was supposed to be a hit and run. The pitch up, and somehow the tag is missed. Gray Kessinger couldn't apply the tag, but David Dahl is hurt, and the Rangers fear the worst. It could be a broken arm. He's going to be removed from the ballgame. X-rays will be taken. As you get a look at the replay, the throw was up the line. Kessinger able to get it there in time, but he just tagged in between David Dahl's arms. And so Adolis Garcia takes over, runner on second base. Solak, though, striking out here to make the first out of the inning. Tyler Naquin, the next batter. He strikes out swinging a good slider at the knees. And just like that, Stanek just 1 out away from working out of it. Willie Calhoun to the plate, and a slider that didn't break. Right down the middle, perfect contact from Willie Calhoun, and that's into the taco shop. Calhoun, a 2-run blast, his 30th of the season, and Texas breaks it open here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Calhoun got every stitch of a hanging slider, 105 miles an hour off the bat, and the Rangers expand their lead as we go to Jose Leclerc, now in the bottom of the 8th inning. Leclerc has pitched well this season for Texas. Gets a bloop into shallow right field. Again, Naquin coming on hard, and he'll make the catch as the Rangers look to defend their 7-3 lead. Yordan Alvarez up now. 2-2 pitch, and this one nearly hits him 99 miles an hour. Brushes Alvarez all the way to the ground. Full count pitch. Next offering, and it's a two-seamer working away. Alvarez thought it was going to stay on the outside corner, but the two-seamer moved away, and the last batter to face here in the 8th would be Alex Bregman. 0-2 count, and this one plunks him. Leclerc 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning, and he hits Alex Bregman as he draws the hairy eyeball there from the former LSU great. Fortunately for Texas, though, a weak ground ball to second ends the inning, and the Rangers would take a 4-run lead to the bottom of the 9th. Runner on first, but Corey Lee chases a pitch around his ankles for the first out, and the Rangers just 2 outs away from taking this series. Nova now popping this one up into left field. Adolis Garcia easily makes the catch, and Texas needs just 1 out to secure the series and take a pivotal 3-game set from the Astros, and Leclerc would induce it. A 1-1 pitch popped up on the edge of the infield. Texas wins the finale 7-3, and they move just a half game back behind the Houston Astros for the division crown. 2 home runs from Trevor Story today. He was sensational, and he earns player of the game honors as Carlos Martinez picks up the win. He just goes 5 innings. Luis Garcia suffers his first loss of the season. And now we get updates on our injured players. David Dahl, just a bruised arm. He's going to go on the 10-day injured list just to be sure. We'll call up an extra outfielder, but that is a massive break for Texas, as is getting Isaiah Kiner-Falefa back in a couple of days. Just a grade 1 abdominal strain. He would head to the 10-day IL to get some rest and recoup as well. So Sherton Apostle is going to come up. He'll replace IKF at third base, and Jason Martin, who has been red hot in AAA, will come up to fill David Dahl's spot. As you get a look at the players on the IL, Nate Lowe coming off here in a couple of days. We're a little bit banged up right now, but still lots of potential in young players to step up and fill the void. Well, after we beat the Astros in the series finale, we simulated forward, and just like that, the Texas Rangers are on an 8-game winning streak. We sweep the 4-game series in Detroit and then come home and take all 3 from the Oakland A's. This was a tremendous stretch of baseball, and I either played or quick managed every one of these games. And basically the offense has been exceptional. We have hit a lot of home runs. We've converted on a lot of runners in scoring position. The one thing that I am a little bit fearful of, though, is the errors. And in especially quick simming, there's a ton of errors that the CPU commit. They're mostly fielding errors. And so in this game especially, you see we committed 4 of them. Solak, Naquin, and then Young made 2. So I decreased the fielding and both infield and outfield errors by just 1 tick in the sliders. I've noticed that both for the CPU and for my own team, not necessarily when I'm playing with them, but when I'm quick simming, there's just way too many errors, and you shouldn't win a ball game when you commit 4 errors, but we did. I played this game. Mackenzie Gore got the win over Charlie Morton. It was a 2-run home run from Willie Calhoun in the first inning that ended up being the only score. And so with that 8-game winning streak, we're now 3 games ahead of the Houston Astros in the division. The Astros have played so-so baseball over the last 10 days, while we've been on a 9-1 streak. In the wild card, it looks like this. The Twins hold the second wild card spot. The Yankees are just half a game behind them. And then you've got the Indians, who may really only be the other team that has a chance of making the postseason. Didn't think they were going to make the postseason last year, but they did. We'll see if Cleveland has another big run in them. And so for the last episode, or game I should say, of this episode, we're going to play Dane Dunning versus Casey Mize, looking to continue our winning streak to 9 games and keep our undefeated record going against the Tigers in 2022. Rangers and Tigers wearing their throwback jerseys from the 70s, early 80s look as Dane Dunning takes the mound in this second part of the episode, 6-7. He's not been as sharp as I would have hoped this year, and I think Dunning eventually is going to transition to the bullpen for us. So he gives up a leadoff double here to Jeimer Candelario. The shift was on, and Willie Calhoun had to go a long way to try and wrestle that ball down. Candelario, his 28th double of the season. That leads all Tiger hitters. Next batter, though, a bouncing ball into the shortstop hole. Yanni Hernandez, a jump throw, and he got him. What a play from the backup shortstop. As you get a look at the Tigers lineup, it's a lot of backups in the lineup today for the Rangers. We haven't had an off day in close to 2 weeks, and the wear and tear certainly getting to our normal starters as Willie Castro goes down swinging. Renato Nunez next up, and a ground ball weakly hit to third base. Sherten Apostle makes the play, and the Rangers work around a leadoff double. Former Auburn ace Casey Mize on the mound, and the numbers are not good for him this year, but I think he shows so much more promise than those numbers indicate. And you're going to see Casey is a very, very tough pitcher to hit against in this episode. Jason Martin is batting .364 though at his big league appearances, and he stroked this one hard to left field, but it would be run down in the alley for a very hard out number 1. Yanni Hernandez up next. He bloops this one into center field, and this is going to fall. Base hit for Yanni Hernandez, getting the start over Trevor Story as Trevor gets a much-needed day off. Nice little piece of hitting there for Hernandez. Tyler Naquin, one of the regular starters who's still in the lineup. He's going deep to right field, but this one doesn't get out of the ballpark, and in fact, it stays fair. I thought that one was bending into the seats. It's allowed out number 2, and Texas would not score in the first. To the second inning we go, and former first-round pick out of Arizona State, Spencer Torkelson, with a line drive into center field. He's going to be a really fun prospect to watch over these next couple of seasons. He's got a ton of power, and I think he's going to be a great addition to this Tigers lineup. Victor Reyes now up, .294. He leads the Tigers in average, and 2-1 pitch called a strike as a good sinker finds the outside part of the plate. Dunning trying to get out of the inning. The 2-2 pitch, strung him out swinging. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. Reyes was late getting to it, and a nice job by Dane Dunning to work out of traffic for the second straight inning. Nate Lowe to the plate now in the bottom of the second, and he hammers this one down the right field line. That's a base hit. It'll go into the corner, and Nate Lowe slides into second base with a lead-off double. Lowe has really been hitting the ball well since coming back from his injury. He had a pulled muscle that he's now returned from. Josh Young the next batter, but he swings and misses as the Rangers try and capitalize on a leadoff double. 1 out now for Sherten Apostle. 0-1 pitch and a nasty slider there from Mize. 94 miles an hour with movement. Brings up an 0-2 count, and this one's in the dirt. The throw down to second base is in time as that ball just did not scamper far enough away from the catcher, and the very next pitch, Sherten Apostle can't check his swing. The Rangers run themselves out of an inning that started with a leadoff double. Top of the third now, Dane Dunning facing the catcher Jake Rogers, who just made a great play in the last inning. He strikes out looking here on a high outside fastball. Good placement there from Dane Dunning. Brings up Harold Castro, who will roll this one weakly to shortstop. We saw a great throw from Hernandez earlier, and this one is not going to replicate it. E6 on Yanni Hernandez, and it keeps the inning alive. Next batter, Willie Castro, fillets this one into left field, and just like that, it's runners on first and second with 2 outs as Dunning trying to get Renato Nunez. Fouling this one off, the hard sinker. 2-2 now. He spoils a changeup outside. Another pitch runs off the plate. It's a full count now. Nomar Mazara waiting on deck. 3-2 pitch to Nunez, and he skies it in the air to center field. Adolis Garcia, wearing the green sleeve per usual, comes in, makes the catch, and Dane Dunning has had traffic all 3 innings, but he's managed to work around it. Jason Martin to the plate now, 1-0 pitch with 1 out, and this one stung into center field, a base hit. I think Jason Martin may be the guy who kind of assumes that JP Martinez role next season. He has got a phenomenal bat and plays really good defense as well. On second base now, 2-0 count with 2 outs, and Tyler Naquin once again plays the hero. He dumps this into left field for a base hit, and Texas takes an early 1-0 lead. Willie Calhoun would be the next batter. Runner on first, 3-2 count as he's battled Mize. Check on the swing, and he did not go. A hard sinker inside, but Willie able to stay off of it, and it would bring up Nate Lowe. He doubled his last time. Runners on first and second, but he chases a changeup in the dirt. An easy throw down to first base, and Casey Mize limits the damage. He only allows 1 as we head to the top of the 4th. Nomar Mazara, the former Ranger, leading off, looks at what should have been called strike 3, and Jay Valdez furious with the home plate umpire. He's letting him know about it. This would be a theme in this inning as Spencer Torkelson comes to the plate next. He swings and misses at a good slider from Dane Dunning. Great bounce back pitch to get the first out. But Akil Baddoo, the next batter, he looks at a sinker that should have been a strike as Dane Dunning goes, "You gotta be kidding me," and the count now 2-1. Tigers center fielder now, weak ground ball to third base, and a dive from Sherton Apostle. All he can do is knock it down. Now, Baddoo has really good speed, and there was no chance for a double play, but I think if this ball goes through, Yanni Hernandez has a chance to field it and get the runner out at first. As a result, runners on first and second, 1 out for the best hitter in the lineup, Victor Reyes, to the plate, and he looks at a changeup that should have been a strike. It should be 0-2 to Reyes right now. It's not, and the next pitch, grounded to second base. Solak to Hernandez for 1. The throw to first, not in time. So a confluence of bad breaks for the Rangers does not go their way, and the next pitch hammered into left field. It's a base hit, and just like that, we are tied at 1 apiece. Take you to the bottom of the 4th inning now. 2 outs, runner on first base. Adolis Garcia, who's really been struggling at the plate, flares this one down the right field line, and that drops fair for a base hit. Garcia tears into second base, and the Rangers have runners on second and third now with 2 outs as Garcia collects his 11th double of the season. Jason Martin, the next batter, and a 1-2 pitch ripped down to first base, but ultimately would be fielded, and Texas squanders another opportunity. Willie Castro now, 1 out in the top of the 5th, and this one tattooed into the left center field gap. Garcia over to field it on the track, and Castro's going for 3. The relay throw to third base, and the tag not in time. Castro with his 6th triple of the season, and it puts a runner just 90 feet away as the next pitch is roped into center field. Dunning has given up a couple of hard luck runs here through 5 innings as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Tigers up by 1. Tyler Naquin a base hit into right field. His bat continues to stay red hot. And tell you what, he is going to be counted on as we head down the playoff stretch. He has been so clutch for us offensively. Nate Lowe, the next batter, with 2 outs and a soft ground ball to second. Incredibly unfortunate there. That pitch was right down the middle, and we couldn't take advantage of it. Hunter Wood on now for the Rangers in the 6th. He's got a good 3.3 record and an ERA that's sub-3, and immediately strikes out Victor Reyes as he's got 2 outs. Jake Rogers now the batter, and he stings this one into center field. That's going to get past Adolis Garcia and go all the way to the wall. Jake Rogers, who is not a great hitting catcher by any means, has victimized the Rangers here in this one as he collects his 10th double of the season. It brings up Jeimer Candelario. Hard hit ground ball down to first, but Nate Lowe there to field it, and Hunter Wood gets out of the pickle in the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th now. 3-2 count, 1 out here to Jose Trevino, and this pitch has not been called a strike all night. Compared to some of the balls that were missed back in the 4th and 5th inning for Dane Dunning, Casey Mize gets the benefit of the doubt here on a hanging curveball that did not break. According to the strike zone, it definitely touched the zone, but just wildly inconsistent for what the strike zone had been all night. And the Tigers would go to Jeff Hartlieb in the bottom of the 7th. JP Martinez would pinch hit now, the lefty, instead of Adolis Garcia, and he immediately pops out to right field for the first out. Jason Martin, the next hitter, he slams this one into right field, but right at Mazzara, who had it played perfectly. 2 quick outs for Hartlieb on just 3 pitches. Yanni Hernandez, the last hope in the bottom of the 7th, and he gets caught chasing a changeup beneath the zone. As we go to the 9th inning, Joe Jimenez on, looking for his 24th save of the year. He has blown 4 saves so far. 0-1 pitch to Josh Young, first batter of the night. He swings and laces this one into left center field, and it gets by Baddoo. All the way to the wall, Josh Young on his horse. He'll throw on the brakes at second base. It's a leadoff base hit for Texas, and they have the tying run on second base. Next up is Jose Trevino, 3-2 count, and he can't hold back on the slider. That's one part of this game that I really don't like. It is impossible to check your swing at all. Last game was a little bit broken as well. It was too easy to check your swing, but this one, I mean, you can barely tap the button, and it's going to register it as a swing. Trevor Story comes on for Yanni Hernandez off the bench, and a 1-2 count here on Story. He gets caught chasing a fastball upstairs. Story not happy about it as the Rangers in danger of squandering their leadoff double. JP Martinez, the last hope for the Rangers. He's just hitting .093 with runners in scoring position. Down in the count, 0-1. Jimenez to the plate, and it's popped up. Shallow left field. This will be an easy play, and the Tigers in the Rangers winning streak at 8 games. Casey Mize earns his 5th win of the season, and the Tigers have come into Arlington and taken the opener of the series from the hottest team in all of Major League Baseball. Mize was player of the game. He got the win. Dane Dunning takes the loss. Joe Jimenez gets his 24th save of the season as the Rangers hit a couple of balls hard tonight, but just could not get any of them to fall. As David Dahl comes off the injured list after this game, so too will Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. As we simulate forward, we do take the 2nd game of the series, but in the series finale, Carlos Martinez fractures his foot, ending his season. The Rangers lose 3-0. They lose the series in an absolute gut punch for Texas, as we're going to call up Yuri Rodriguez, who will make his major league debut when he pitches for the Rangers first, instead of Hans Kraus to replace Carlos Martinez. Kraus had been super cold as of late. He's 0-3 at AAA with an ERA over 6. Yuri Rodriguez is pitching really well and has some really good characteristics too. I've liked pitching with him at AAA Round Rock, so we decided to go with Rodriguez. Hyunjung Yang will move into the starting rotation. He's going to be at number 2, taking over Martinez's slot, just so we don't disrupt anything. And then we're going to call up Josh Young, and we're also going to call up Sam Gaviglio, who will be making his Rangers debut when he next pitches for us as September call-ups roll around. But just an absolute travesty that Carlos Martinez goes down. He'd pitched so well for us. He'd done exactly what I wanted him to when I signed him as a free agent. He'd been a great number 2. He had kept the ball in the ballpark. He had thrown strikes, and it's just so unfortunate that that's how his season ends. As you get a look at some of the statistics up to this point, you saw the offense. Here's what our pitching rotation and stats will look like as Rodriguez and Gaviglio will slide into the long relief spots. I might tinker with that just a little bit down the stretch, but that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and a comment if you did enjoy. Until next time, so long, everyone.